Now, with 52 wines of the week to play with each year, it's really nice to bring something different to the table, and this is something pretty different. The wine is called Piccini Memoro. It's a non-vintage blend from Italy, and it's currently in Tesco's at £9.49. Now, what makes it different is not only that it's non-vintage, but the grapes in this wine have come from all over Italy, so it's a non-regional specific blend too, and there are regions and grapes blended together here that you would never normally find in an Italian wine. What we have in the bottle is we have about 40% of Primitivo from Puglia, which is the region way down in the southeast of the country. We have 20% Montepulciano from Abruzzo, which is in the centre of the country. We have 10% Merlot from the Veneto, way up in the north of the country. And finally, we have 20% Nero d'Avola from the island of Sicily, off the west coast of Italy. So a real assortment of grapes, a real assortment of regions, and a wine that's unusual too. On the nose, it is a dead ringer for a really nice quality late bottled vintage port. There are notes here of chocolate coated cherries and berries, of wood smoke, of a little bit of a kind of floral lift, of plums. It's a really port-like nose. And on the palate, well, you know, that impression continues. It is creamily, silkily smooth. It floods across the palate. There's a sweetness there, not from alcohol, not from the added alcohol of a fortified wine like port, but from a little bit of passito, of drying the grapes, and from very, very ripe fruit. The palate's the same. It's all dried cherries, it's chocolate, it's tobacco, it's a luscious mouthful. It has a creaminess. But as well as that sweetness, that expansive sweetness, there's actually quite a nice core of acidity and a little nip of tannin, just to remind you that this is wine. I think it's a really interesting drink. To be honest, I prefer to see it maybe at $7.49, $7.99, but even at $9.49, I think it's a very well made, quite a serious attempt to do something different. And if you like the sound of the style, a port style, rich wine that really is crying out for some big, hearty food to tame that a little. Maybe a chunk of mature cheese, hard cheese too, against that sweetness. But anyway, if that's the style of wine that you think you'd like, I think it's a really interesting, good value wine of the week at $9.49 from Tesco. It's the Piccini Memoro non-vintage, and it's my wine of the week.